What if one of the biggest reasons you're feeling more tired, sore, and sluggish after 40 has nothing to do with aging itself? Most people believe that declining energy, slower recovery, stubborn weight gain, and aching joints are simply part of getting older. But here's the surprising truth. Many elite athletes continue performing at an incredibly high level well into their 40s and beyond. Not because they train harder, but because they avoid specific foods that quietly sabotage recovery, increase inflammation, and drain energy. Think about it. Have you ever woken up feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep? Or noticed that a workout that used to energize you now leaves you sore for days? Millions of adults experience these frustrations every year, assuming it's just age catching up with them. But in many cases, the real culprit may be sitting right on the dinner table. The food industry spends billions convincing people that convenience equals nutrition. Yet, some of the most common foods in the American diet can contribute to inflammation, poor cardiovascular health, weakened immunity, slower muscle repair, and reduced overall well-being. What's even more shocking is that many of these foods are marketed as healthy choices. In this video, you'll discover the 7 foods many World Cup athletes and top performers avoid after age 40 to protect their stamina, support healthy living, improve recovery, and maintain long-term quality of life. More importantly, you'll learn what to eat instead so you can support your body naturally without following extreme diets or complicated nutrition plans. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods may be stealing your energy, slowing your recovery, and holding back your health, and how a few simple changes could help you feel stronger, healthier, and more energized than you have in years. After the age of 40, many people start noticing something frustrating. The same workout that once felt easy now seems to leave them sore for days. It's not just imagination. As the body ages, metabolism naturally slows down, muscle repair becomes less efficient, and low-grade inflammation tends to increase. Research has shown that adults can lose around 3% to 8% of their muscle mass per decade after age 30 if they don't actively maintain it. That shift affects everything from physical exercise performance to overall well-being and quality of life. What surprises many people is that recovery is no longer just about rest. A person in their 20s might bounce back after a tough workout with little effort, while someone over 40 often needs better nutrition, improved sleep, and more intentional self-care. Picture 2 friends finishing the same weekend hike. One wakes up the next day feeling fine, while the other struggles with stiff joints and lingering fatigue. The difference often comes down to how the body handles inflammation, energy production, and muscle repair as the years go by. Another major factor is hormonal change. As people age, levels of hormones that support muscle growth, recovery, and cardiovascular health gradually decline. This can make healthy weight loss more difficult and reduce stamina during everyday activities. That's why many former athletes and highly active adults suddenly feel as if their bodies are working against them. The good news is that the body still responds incredibly well to the right habits. In fact, studies consistently show that individuals who maintain an active lifestyle and prioritize preventive medicine can dramatically improve their long-term health outcomes. The real secret isn't exercising harder, it's recovering smarter. Elite athletes over 40 understand this better than almost anyone. They focus on reducing inflammation, supporting immunity, protecting emotional health, and fueling their bodies with foods that accelerate repair instead of slowing it down. And here's where things get really interesting. Some of the most common foods people eat every day may be silently sabotaging recovery, energy levels, and healthy living goals without them even realizing it. In the next section, you'll discover which foods could be holding performance back and why even seemingly harmless choices can create a hidden recovery problem. Many people assume that recovery problems after 40 are caused by aging alone, but that's only part of the story. Some of the biggest obstacles are hiding in plain sight, sitting on dinner plates, snack shelves, and drive-thru menus every single day. Foods that trigger inflammation can quietly drain energy, weaken immunity, and make muscle repair take much longer than necessary. What makes this especially tricky is that these foods often taste good, feel convenient, and are heavily marketed as normal parts of modern life. One of the biggest offenders is highly processed food loaded with refined sugars and artificial ingredients. A person might grab a sugary coffee drink and a pastry in the morning, feel a quick burst of energy and then crash before lunchtime. That roller coaster affects mental health, concentration, and physical performance more than most people realize. Studies have linked excessive sugar consumption to increased inflammation and greater risk factors for disease prevention challenges, including cardiovascular health issues. The body spends valuable resources managing these spikes instead of focusing on repair and recovery. Another hidden problem comes from processed meats, deep-fried foods, and snacks packed with unhealthy oils. Imagine someone finishing a tough workout and rewarding themselves with a large fast food meal. It feels satisfying in the moment, but those foods may contribute to inflammation that lingers for hours or even days. Over time, this pattern can reduce endurance, increase soreness, and make healthy weight loss significantly harder. Many people blame their age when, in reality, their daily food choices are quietly slowing down progress. Even foods that seem harmless can create trouble when eaten too often. Excessive alcohol, heavily processed breakfast cereals, and high-sodium packaged meals can interfere with improved sleep, hydration, and the body's natural recovery systems. The challenge is that most people focus on what they should add to their diet, while elite performers focus equally on what they should remove. And that's exactly where the conversation gets exciting. Because once the biggest recovery-draining foods are identified, a powerful question emerges. What do world-class athletes actually eat to protect their energy, maintain stamina, and keep performing at a high level long after 40? The answer may be much simpler than most people expect. When people watch World Cup athletes perform, they often focus on training, talent, or genetics. What they don't see is the discipline happening behind the scenes at every meal. Elite athletes over 40 understand that energy is not something that magically appears on game day. It is built through hundreds of smart nutritional decisions. Their approach centers on stable blood sugar, reduced inflammation, and consistent support for well-being. Instead of chasing quick fixes, they create systems that help their bodies perform at a high level day after day. One habit shared by many top performers is prioritizing protein throughout the day rather than loading it into a single meal. For example, breakfast might include eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein-rich smoothie instead of sugary cereals. This strategy supports muscle repair, healthy living, and better recovery after physical exercise. Research shows that spreading protein intake throughout the day can help maintain muscle mass as people age. It's a small adjustment, but over months and years, the impact can be remarkable. Hydration is another secret weapon that often gets overlooked. Many people wait until they feel thirsty, but elite athletes treat hydration as a performance tool. Even mild dehydration can reduce energy, focus, and cardiovascular health. A former professional athlete might start the morning with water, continue drinking consistently throughout the day, and include foods with high water content like berries, cucumbers, and watermelon. These habits support immunity, stress reduction, and improved sleep while helping the body function efficiently. Perhaps the most powerful habit is consistency rather than perfection. Elite performers don't eat perfectly every day, but they avoid turning occasional indulgences into daily routines. They build meals around whole foods, balanced nutrition, and long-term health instead of temporary cravings. This mindset helps protect emotional health, maintain endurance, and preserve quality of life well into later decades. But knowing what successful athletes avoid and how they fuel themselves leads to an even more practical question. What specific foods can ordinary people start eating today to gain many of the same benefits without living like a professional athlete? The good news is that improving recovery and energy after 40 doesn't require exotic superfoods or expensive meal plans. In most cases, the biggest improvements come from replacing problem foods with smarter alternatives. Instead of processed snacks that cause energy crashes, many health-conscious athletes choose foods that provide steady fuel and support long-term well-being. These choices help reduce inflammation, strengthen immunity, and create a foundation for healthy living that pays off for years. A simple example is swapping sugary breakfast foods for protein-rich options. Instead of starting the day with pastries or sweet cereals, many experts recommend eggs, oatmeal with berries, Greek yogurt, or a smoothie made with fruit and protein. These foods help stabilize blood sugar and support muscle repair throughout the day. Someone who makes this change consistently may notice fewer cravings, better focus, and more sustained energy by the afternoon. Small adjustments like these often create surprisingly large improvements in overall quality of life. For lunch and dinner, elite athletes frequently build meals around lean proteins, colorful vegetables, healthy fats, and high-fiber carbohydrates. Grilled salmon, chicken, beans, sweet potatoes, avocados, spinach, and mixed vegetables provide nutrients that support cardiovascular health and disease prevention. The goal isn't restriction, it's nourishment. A plate filled with these foods delivers vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that help the body recover more efficiently while supporting healthy weight loss and an active lifestyle. Perhaps the most overlooked upgrade is replacing highly processed convenience foods with whole food alternatives most of the time. Nuts instead of chips, fruit instead of candy, water instead of sugary beverages. These swaps may sound simple, but their cumulative effect can be powerful. Over months and years, they help protect heart health, support mindfulness around eating, and promote better physical and emotional health. And once these healthier options become familiar, the next challenge becomes surprisingly easy, creating a few simple nutrition rules that fit into real life without feeling restrictive or overwhelming. One of the biggest myths about nutrition is that healthy eating has to be complicated. In reality, many of the people who enjoy the best well-being after 40 follow a handful of simple rules consistently. They don't obsess over every calorie or chase every new trend on social media. Instead, they focus on habits that support nutrition, recovery, and long-term quality of life. The secret isn't complexity, it's repetition of the right behaviors. A practical rule many experts recommend is the protein-first approach. Before reaching for bread, chips, or dessert, meals are built around a quality protein source. Whether it's fish, chicken, eggs, beans, or Greek yogurt, this habit helps maintain muscle mass and supports healthy weight loss. Combined with regular physical exercise, it creates a powerful defense against age-related decline. Over time, this simple shift can help people stay stronger, more active, and more independent as they age. Another effective strategy is following the 80-20th principle. Roughly 80% of meals focus on whole foods that support cardiovascular health, immunity, and disease prevention, while the remaining 20% leaves room for flexibility and enjoyment. This approach reduces stress around eating and promotes emotional health because people no longer feel trapped by unrealistic diet rules. Sustainable success almost always comes from balance, not perfection. Finally, many long-term health experts encourage a simple daily question. Will this choice help or hurt tomorrow's energy? That one question can influence everything from snack choices to sleep habits and self-care routines. People who consistently make decisions that support improved sleep, stress reduction, and healthy living often experience benefits that compound year after year. And when these principles are combined with the lessons used by elite athletes, something remarkable begins to happen. Recovery improves, energy returns, and aging starts to feel less like a limitation and more like an opportunity to thrive. If there's one lesson to take away from everything you've learned today, it's this. Getting older does not automatically mean becoming weaker, slower, or less energetic. Many of the challenges people experience after 40 are influenced by daily choices, and some of those choices can be changed starting today. Think back to the beginning of this video. Maybe you felt frustrated by slower recovery, unexpected fatigue, stubborn weight gain, or the feeling that your body doesn't respond the way it used to. Now you know that some of the most common foods can quietly increase inflammation, interfere with muscle repair, and reduce overall well-being. More importantly, you now have practical strategies used by high-performing athletes to support healthy living, cardiovascular health, immunity, and long-term quality of life. The question is, which of these foods surprised you the most? And which change are you willing to make first? Sometimes a single decision, replacing one unhealthy food with a better alternative, can start a chain reaction that transforms your energy, recovery, and health over the next few months and years. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Small improvements repeated consistently can produce extraordinary results over time. Every healthier meal, every better choice, and every act of self-care is an investment in your future strength, independence, and vitality. If you found this video helpful, Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear which habit you're planning to adopt first. And if you want more science-backed tips on nutrition, disease prevention, healthy weight loss, stress reduction, improved sleep, and healthy aging, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Subscribe now so you don't miss tips that could transform your health forever. Your future self will thank you for the choices you start making today.